Well, folks, Arizona Democrats could be in big trouble for the 2026 elections that are coming up, especially in the governor's election there. Current governor Katie Hobbs is up for re-election after narrowly by like a point, beating out Kari Lake in the 2022 governor's race. Hobbs only won the state, like I said, by about a point in a state that voted for Trump in 2024 by about 5 to 6 points. Well, the constant is Arizona rejected Kari Lake in back-to-back elections, once for governor, once for to be the next senator from Arizona. In the same election, Trump carried the state by 5 to 6 points. So we got a lot to dig into here, but if you are new here, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you never miss another video from us again in the future. And to all of our new subscribers we've picked up over the last week, I just want to say welcome. We're going to do everything we can to get good quality content out for you, keep you up to date with what's going on. Now, Arizona Democrats, like I said, are not in a great position. Not looking good for them as of right now. In a state that Trump won by roughly about 6 points, you can go to the election, let's see, Arizona, about 6 points, 5.5, 6 points that he won it by. There have been some serious turmoil in the state, what would you call it? The Democrat Party in the state. Lots of issues between state Democrat leader, her name's Yolanda Bergeno, and several other members that are inside of the Democrat establishment in Arizona have been caught in a public feud. There have been different allegations thrown out there of self-dealing, mismanagement of funds, and even defamation. And really these internal disputes are going to, if they continue to snowball like they have, they're going to cripple the party's ability to win an election. Instead of gearing up for the 2026 election, they're going to be fighting among themselves. And an incumbent governor in Katie Hobbs knows it's going to be a pretty freaking hard uphill battle. It's going to be freaking hard for her. During her first 2 years in office, she vetoed over 200 pieces of legislation. I wonder if we have that in this here. Let's see. 216 Republican-backed bills included legislation targeting, what a bunch of bullcrap from the Associated Press. I'm happy Trump threw them out. They're not in the press pool anymore. Targeting transgender students. No. Identifying or realizing biological realities. That's not called target. Is like a targeted attack. You're attacking someone. It's targeted. No. Recognizing that there are two genders, there are two sexes, is not, what a bunch of baloney. I hate the AP, but, I'll go off on a little rant here. I am very mixed when it comes to mainstream media. Here's my thing in legacy media. They do a lot of the on-the-ground data gathering, detail gathering. But then they take it, they package it, and put their own bullcrap left-wing legacy media spin on it to do the Democrats' dirty work. So, yes, they do a good thing in the sense of I'm able to get this information for videos that I do, but also but can you do it without having a freaking left-wing spin on everything? And that's why independent media is the only way forward, and we must absolutely destroy the legacy media, make them about as irrelevant as the penny is going to be here soon. But she vetoed 216 pieces of legislation from the Republican-backed Congress. And really, because the Democrats no longer have Kari Lake to lean on to hand them victories, it's like, I don't know what they're going to have in this election. It's like you look in 22, the statewide elections. It was a rough year for the GOP. Kari Lake only lost the 2022 governor's race by like a point. And it was not a good year for Republicans. And she only lost it by a point in what was supposed to be a good year for Democrats. And then in 2024, she lost by 2 or 3 points. It's like she ran 8 or 9 points behind Trump in the election. But they no longer can lean on Kari Lake to be this, and I think she's a great person. She would be a great politician, but she just says some out-of-pocket stuff. And here's the thing. The public does not give as much leeway to down-ballot Republicans as they do to Trump at the top of the ticket. That's just a fact that they have to realize. Trump can do whatever the hell he wants, and people are going to support him. Down ballot? not always, especially if there's some stuff that's a little crazy or a little more fringe. People don't like that. And in a state that has been I don't want to say battleground state, but it really has been. 2016 for Trump, 2020 for Biden, 2024 back to Trump again. But the other, like I said, the big thing is Kari Lake is, and I'm not going to like the only big thing, but one of the big things, Kari Lake is no longer on the ballot. During those last two election cycles, she's been on the ballot, 24 and 22, where the Democrats have been able to pick up big wins. The governor's office in 22, and the senator from Arizona was able to retain his seat in the 2024 Senate election against Kari Lake. Now, she may be a good candidate in a different state that's not Arizona, but the people of Arizona have rejected her twice, severely underperforming Trump in the 2024 election that saw her, like I said, run behind Trump by about, let's just look at it. Arizona, Trump had 52%. You jump over to the Senate. She had, let's see, 47%. It's like, okay, what is that? 5 points ran behind? Like, so obviously something is not right. Kari Lake, obviously there's a chunk of Republican voters. Look, she got about 1.6 million votes. Trump got almost 1.8 million votes. There were 200,000 people that said, hey, I'm voting for Trump. I may not be voting for what's his name? Ruben Gallego. I'm not going to be voting for him. Maybe some of them did. They said, I'm definitely not voting for Kari Lake, though. And that is something that the Democrats will not be able to lean on in the next election. And they are going to have a very rough 2 years of reckoning in elections in Arizona. Another big piece that goes into it is voter registration decline. Now, I don't have any data up here in front of me right now. Where I got the data from was from a free article that I had got. Didn't realize that I needed to, that it was a free article. The one time I read it, go back in, you have to pay to get in there. But Democrats have shed almost double the amount of voters that the GOP has in the same period, including they shed almost 78,000, Democrats did, voters in Maricopa County. Now, obviously, they're kind of doing their voter roll maintenance, obviously, but there are people who are leaving the Democrat Party in Arizona. I wouldn't want to be a Democrat there. This lady gets nothing done. Katie Hobbs, it's like, I would hate to be a Democrat as the governor right here because she just vetoes. What does she actually do? Oh, she wants to work with Trump on border security. But you voted for Kamala Harris. So, like, I'm pretty sure that nullifies anything you actually wanted to do. Like let's be realistic. Water scarcity. And then also the big one is the Arizona school voucher program, which is just ridiculous that she wants to go after it. Oh, so basically, this school voucher program started in 2011, was for basically a small minority group of children. If their schools were very, very, very bad schools, if they had disabled children, there was like 3 or 4 things that you had to do to qualify for this. That eventually expanded in 2022 to all students, which lets parents subsidize private tuition and their educational expenses with public education money. So Democrats have criticized the program, saying it contributes to a drain on the state's coffers, and pitted the billion-dollar boondoggle against increased funding for additional measures on border security. Now, I don't think we had it in here. I wonder where I had got it. But basically what it was is that each pupil could decide where they were going to go. They could pull about 90% of funding that pupil would have got at that school and bring it to a different school. What the hell is wrong with that? And the public school systems are complaining that we don't have enough money. We don't have enough money. If you had a better school system, if you guys weren't so focused on teachers' rights and unionizing, and you're more focused on student education and the actual process of a child learning and not indoctrinating them, maybe people would want to send their kids to the public school system. But because it's been totally ruined by Democrats over the past, I don't know, since what? When was the Department of Education established? Jimmy Carter, 1976, I think. There needs to be competition when it comes to education. For the same reason that if I have insurance somewhere and my rate goes up, I can go shop it around. I can take my dollars elsewhere and spend it and get something better. The same thing should be true. Why is the public school system, competition is what helps make these, if you're looking at a business, competition makes them better. It makes them be ethical, do things the right way, because they know if they don't do things the right way, people are going to go down the street to their competitor. Why do we not have competition in education? Why is it a one-size-fits-all policy? Because that's what it is. It's a one-size-fits-all policy. And, you look at the Democrats in the state that care more about the public teacher unions instead of making sure children are able to get the best education possible. So I think that's ultimately going to be a big one. And there was also the water scarcity in here. So that's a whole other issue. But let's take a look at the GOP primary, or I guess the primaries just in general. Obviously, Katie Hobbs hasn't announced she's going to run for it yet, but most likely will run for re-election. Now, on the Republican side, there have been two declared candidates. Andy Biggs, who represents the 5th Congressional District. He's in the House Freedom Caucus. Very staunch conservative Republican. Andy Biggs would be a great senator from the state of Arizona. He would do great things. To be a governor. He would be a great governor in the state of Arizona. So, when the House and Senate come together and they pass 216 bills. 216 bills they passed that were then vetoed by the governor. Andy Biggs would help with that process to get them across the finish line and get it into law. Another name that's been out there that has already been endorsed by President Trump is Karen Taylor Robinson. Now, she is the wife of a real estate empire mogul. Let's see, her spouse was Edward Robison. I don't know how to say his last name. But he owns a big real estate empire. She is the wife of him, and President Trump has already thrown, before she was even in the race, he threw her name in the ring and said he'd endorse her. Honestly, as of right now, a lot of the polling shows that Andy Biggs is leading big time in the polls for the governor's race. I don't know enough about her to make a decision right now. I just know that Andy Biggs would be a great representative for the state of Arizona to represent them in the governor's office. There have been some other people who have filed, kind of a bunch of no names that have filed paperwork to run. Some people who have publicly expressed interest: Jason Beck, the mayor of Peoria. Let's see, Tom Hatton, and then Kimberly Yee, who is the Arizona State Treasurer and also ran for governor in 2022. That was another thing up here. She ran for governor in 2022. Now, a potential name that I find very interesting, the home state of Charlie Kirk, CEO of Turning Point USA. That could be an interesting one. That might, but I think Charlie, if I'm being 100% honest, should stick with Turning Point USA, the turnout machine. He is basically the new RNC. He has built his own RNC with the ground game that they have in the ability to turn out low propensity voters. Now, some people who have declined. So I think Charlie should stay on the sidelines for this. Focus on his machine. Focus on helping GOP win across the country. Some people who have declined, obviously, Kari Lake said she will not be running for any elected offices anytime soon. But let's look at the endorsements picked up. So far, Andy Biggs has got Lauren Boebert from Colorado, Eli Crane from Arizona, and Paul Gosar from Arizona as well. State legislator Jake Hoffman, and then Debbie Lesko, who is the Maricopa County supervisor, and a former U.S. representative from Arizona, Congressional District 8. Karen Taylor Robinson has the official endorsement of the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump. And as you can see right here, look at this polling. It's like, and I think name recognition is going to be, it's like the closer we get with what, we're not even going to know who's going to be leading it for probably a year, maybe 10 months. Like it's going to be a battle for this. But ultimately, I think Andy Biggs needs to be the one who's out there. Obviously, Karen Taylor Robson, she ran in the 2022 gubernatorial election, lost in the primary to Kari Lake. It was really a nasty primary. Trump came out and endorsed Kari Lake, and it basically, Kari Lake was very, very nasty towards her. Very, very nasty. I'm surprised she's throwing her hat back in the ring, but just glad to see that we have a chance to win this. Kari Lake is sitting on the sidelines for this race as of right now. So let me know, what are your thoughts down in the comments below? Who do you think should be leading the GOP ticket? Andy Biggs, Karen Robinson. Who do you think that it should be? And do you think the GOP has a serious chance of regaining the governor's mansion in Arizona? And any other thoughts? Let me know what your thoughts are. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Make sure you never miss another video again in the future. And until next time.